Hey everybody, it's D. Wiley. So today I am working on my 2016 Challenger Hellcat. I am in the process of swapping the drive shaft on it. I got the car up on some race ramps and jack stands. I've got the exhaust unbolted, and before I pull it out, I'm gonna get up under here and show everybody what I did. So if anyone have any questions, I got on YouTube. It's a few videos out there, but it's it's not that many. So I figured I'd go ahead and share how I'm doing mine. So I get up under here. What I decided to do is take off the exhaust at the end of the mid pipe rather than going to the front of the mid pipe, only because I know it looks pretty tight up under here, but it's actually enough room to get a ratchet under there and take these bolts off on the drive shaft. So I just loosened up these bolts here, set me some blocks here. I'm getting ready to pull it out, and so that I have something to drop on. I'll get around here to the back and show you what I did. Okay, here on the back, there's at the very back end, it's a bolt that hold up this bracket here, and as you can see, it's loose on both sides. I'm not going to show you the other side because it's the same exact thing on both sides. And then here on the middle, make sure you take off the harness here for the cutout opening. And then here on this bracket, I've seen some people take this part out of this rubber garment here. What I ended up doing is just taking out the bolt that holds this bracket up, and all you got to do is just lift up this exhaust and lift it up off this hook here, and it'll do the same thing. I figured that was a little bit easier than messing around with this rubber garment here. So that's what I ended up doing, and so I'm gonna get this exhaust out of here. I'm gonna get the exhaust out of here now and work on getting this factory drive shaft out. And I'm not in no hurry, but you could do all this maybe in a couple hours, 3 hours, but I'm not in no hurry, and it's cold out here. So once I get the factory drive shaft out, I'm just gonna call it a day and finish it tomorrow. So anyway, that's what I've done so far, and I'll take some more pictures to keep the video up to date as I go along. Hey everybody, it's D. Wiley. Okay, so I'm fixing to start part 2 of installing this drive shaft. I think I'll catch a little head cold. It's cold out here in Texas, so just bear with me. I apologize for the sniffles and the sneezing, but here go the drive shaft. And I gotta take out the bracket and all that stuff and mount it underneath the car. Oh, one thing I'll point out too that I left out yesterday is when I pulled out this exhaust, these clips that go into the cutouts, these little clips here went inside that clip. If you don't catch that, like, you'll just be pulling on the wire trying to get that exhaust out of here. So make sure you take that that little clip out of the mount. There's one on the other side too. But besides that, I mean, it was pretty easy. Got it all out, and so now I'm about to start part 2 of it. I'll make sure I take some pictures, and hopefully I'll get it knocked out today. Okay, I got the back bracket mounted on. Just got one more screw I need to tighten up. Make sure you use your Loctite. These screws and the ones up front, and I'll show a picture of that too, supposed to be torqued at 57 foot-pounds, and then the big ones will be torqued at 70 foot-pounds, and I'll also post a picture of that diagram when I get done. But yeah, it's coming along pretty easy, just like I expected. Okay, I got the front bracket on here. Again, you mount these, you torque these at 57 foot pounds. Don't forget your Loctite. Also, your blue line that you got to line up with the drive shaft. So I got that there. And then also on the back side, it's right there. Say hi to my helper. Say hi, Eris. So both of them will be lined up on the bottom when I get it up under here. So it should be pretty easy. I also noticed something here. I don't know if it'll make a difference or not. There's a little clamp that's holding this little heat shield up. I'm gonna go ahead and saw it down. I don't think it'll mess with the clearance, but I don't think it'll hurt anything by just sawing it down a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that also. All right, so I'm finished. I got everything torqued down. Like I said, all these front bolts here are gonna be 57. Back, the bracket is 57, and the 4 main bolts are 70. And I can't rotate it and hold this camera at the same time, but there's plenty of clearance, nothing is rubbing. So I'm gonna put the heat shield back on here, get the exhaust put back on, and take it for a test drive. Hey everybody, it's D Wiley. So I am finished with the drive shaft install. I'll give y'all one final look at everything. I got the exhaust put back in, and it was a whole lot easier getting this thing in than taking it out. Just I had to do a bunch of wiggling. And I noticed a lot of people used a jack to set their exhaust on, but I just got some wood blocks, went to Home Depot, had them cut them in 12 inches for me, set the exhaust on it, and it slid right on in. I didn't have any problems getting it put back in there. So now, excuse my sniffing, I am gonna get it off the jacks and the race ramps, take it for a drive, and see what it sounds like. All right, got the drive shaft in. Feel fine right now. I'm driving about 30 miles an hour right now. I don't hear anything rubbing, nothing vibrating or anything like that. So I think it's a good deal. I'm gonna get up here on the highway here in a second, take it at highway speed, make sure everything's good to go, and if so, I will be done for the day. Say it's an easy install. It can be done in one day, but if you ain't in no rush and you're doing it by yourself, there's also nothing wrong with just splitting it up over 2 days. I took everything out one day and then put everything back in the next day. And plus it's cold out here right now. It's showing to be about 47, which is probably a little bit colder inside that garage. But anyway, I got it done, and here in a second we'll get it up on the highway, see what it feels like. So right now I've done the drive shaft, differential brace, mid muffler delete. I got a cold air intake on it, AFE. Got a catch can from Speed Logics. Changed up the thermostat, a jet 180 degree thermostat, and I got the PCM and Diablo Sport tuner for it. I got it on a 93 octane tune. Really, the only thing left that I do want to do to it, but I'm gonna wait till my warranty is up, is swap out the pulley on it. But it's still fairly new. I got another year until the warranty is up. I've only got 12,000 miles on it, but it'll still hit that 3-year mark for. So next year I'll be doing that at some point. So, all right, well, we're getting ready to get on the highway here, and we'll see what it feels like. About 80 right now, and I feel like it did before. So I think it's a done deal. If you like what you saw, if you got any questions, go ahead and subscribe and comment below with any questions, and I'll be happy to help any way I can.